Oh, hey there, bud. Pretty sweet smoker, eh? My name's Johan, and I will feed you. What I came to talk to you about in this video is how I was able to get this 500-gallon smoker custom built exactly to my spec for half the price of what it would normally cost to get one from Texas. We're gonna go over all the pros and cons of this smoker, all the different specs, and how I was able to acquire it. But of course, nothing is perfect and you get what you pay for. Let me show you why. Okay, let's pop some doors on this and see what the grill specs are like, see how much meat we can fit on this thing. Let's do the top grill. The top grill is 24.5 by 35.5. Bottom grill. The bottom grill is 28 by 36. Now, this 500-gallon makes up its measurements by being 31 inches round by 86.5 inches long. That should give you about 500 gallons. Now, how you organize your trays in your smoker is totally up to you. I've got one high and one low on both sides and 2 doors. Some guys go full racks. Some guys prefer to slide their trays out so like that they can get to the back a little bit easier. So this Firebox is 24 inches by 33 inches, which gives me plenty of room to play with the fire. It's more than what I need for this cooking chamber, but it's always better to have more than what you need, because then I guess you can always have more, right?
The first thing I want to talk about that I like about this smoker are the probe ports. You can just twist those caps off and slide your probes in, maybe stuff a little bit of paper towel or aluminum foil to make sure it's sealed up and the smoke doesn't get out. But I actually don't use them, and I just slide my probes in when I close the door through the door. The other thing I like is that you can grease the door hinges. They have zerks on them and you can inject grease into the hinges. Very, very important for my climate because we do get winter over here, so fighting corrosion, especially in the hinge, big bonus. The smoker is also 1/4-inch steel. It's not the heaviest, it's not 3/8, but it's good enough. It holds heat very, very well once you get it all up to temperature, and I'm really happy that it's 1/4-inch steel. It really works for me. The dual flow system is probably the best and coolest thing about this smoker. There are 3 large steel plates in the bottom of the smoker, similar to tuning plates. They can be completely removed if you don't want them or to clean them. And they can be all slid and clinked together so like that it makes one solid baffle, just like in a reverse flow smoker. And that's why you see 2 stacks on the smoker. You can open one and close the other, vice versa. So if you want to run reverse flow, you just make sure all the plates are nice and tight together, and then the smoke must travel against that ceiling going reverse flow. But I don't actually do that. I found that the best way to run this smoker is like with tuning plates. So I'll use it in tuning plate style with little cracks, and then the smoke can exit through the cracks, but then ride the next plate and ride the next plate. And you know, in time, the whole thing runs really, really, really even because of those tuning plates holding all that temperature.
Check out this Firebox. There's a lot that makes sense, and there's some things that don't make sense. First, let me show you the stuff that doesn't make sense. What is that rod? It does nothing. It's cut me in the shin a couple of times though, and I don't know why there's a handle on the door of the Firebox. I didn't really design that, but I was surprised with it. I would not pull the smoker by the Firebox door, but it does look cool. Let's take a look inside. Now, obviously this smoker is really cool and I love it. I've cooked over 1,000 pounds of meat on it and I've had it built exactly to my spec. I'm the one who designed it. But that being said, I designed it and there's a couple of things that I would alter in that design, if I could say that. Number 1. All right, so this drain, I would probably upgrade this to a ball joint valve. It does work, don't get me wrong. Just like spending half of what it would normally cost to get one of those really nice 500-gallon smokers also works, but you get what you pay for, don't you? So we have a cap, and this cap once it goes, kind of like a drain plug on a car when you're changing the oil. Sometimes you get a little grease on your hands. Number 2. We thought it would be really cool to build this smoker with the idea of a lowrider vehicle towing it. And that being said, we made the smoker low, and I regret that. This Firebox is way too close to the ground. It's about a Sharpie in width from the ground. And I have to now lift my smoker. I have to flip the leaf springs on the axle to try and get a few more inches, or do a wheel swap and get some bigger tires on here. It's a little crazy, isn't it? I mean, I wish I would have thought of that. So learn from my mistakes. Number 3, you see that stack? You see that stack? There ain't no hinges on them. They don't fold. They just stay like that all the time. And I can't get it into my garage or under some sort of cover. So I have to put a big tarp over it, make sure it stays safe from the weather. But if they did fold, I'd be able to actually get into a structure. So on my next smoker, definitely I'm gonna have hinges on my stacks that fold. If you're designing a smoker with somebody, I would highly recommend that. Number 4, I used a boat trailer or personal watercraft trailer to get this smoker to sit on. It is made of steel, so it was steel on steel welding, but it was kind of fixed in that sense. It's made for a boat. Now, if you haven't noticed, I put weights, like little workout weights, at the edge of the tongue. So like that, the smoker stays down, because the Firebox would cant it back because the weight is stronger on the back end. And that can actually be a problem if you're towing it behind a vehicle. It can cause some of that trailer sway. Last one, number 5. Look at these sweet fenders. They're plastic because, after all, it is a personal watercraft trailer. It's made to go in the water, and those are plastic fenders. I just basically took barbecue paint and sprayed the whole thing down. It looks pretty cool. I really love the look of my smoker, and I mean, it does a great job, but those fenders are plastic. In the end, I regret nothing. This is probably more than what I need. This 500-gallon smoker sitting in my driveway because it doesn't fit in the backyard, but you know what? It's barbecue, and it's what you want to do. And that's what I hope you take from this video. I was going nuts, and I wanted to build the craziest, biggest smoker, and I did it, and my dreams came true. But you know, you could just go out and put a hole in the ground, put some charcoal in there, have some skewers over that, and that's barbecue. Barbecue is getting outside, cooking with fire, and having a good time. So get outside and cook something. Now make sure you tune in for my next video, because I'm going to show you how we're going to run this thing. We're going to fill it entirely with meat. We're going to have a fire going in there. I'm going to show you how to manage the fire, and we're going to have some dino beef ribs in there. We're going to have some brisket in there. We're going to have some pork shoulders in there, and we're going to have some chicken wings in there as well, and a picanha. Ooh. Okay, let me slap it again. I like that. I love it.